just have a very quick overview of some of the maths tools. I'll talk a bit louder to talk over the rain. So just a little bit of a revision to make sure people know where things are or remind you of maybe a tool you haven't seen for a bit. I am actually using the screen recorder at the moment to capture my screen. This can be a really powerful tool if you want to pop a little video of a method or capture some formative assessment, some formative data about the way your students are solving problems and things. So I got that by going into my tools, more tools, and screen recorder, and I've just selected the full screen recorder. You can set the area to just record a portion of the screen, like the white frame there. Okay. So first things first, if it is maths and I do want grid paper, I can come into the library to get grid paper. I'm not seeing my browsers at the moment, so my keyboard shortcut would be Control B on a Windows device, Command B on a Mac. I'm going to, because I'm at the board, I'm going to say View, Browsers, and here are my browsers, grids. I can come down and there's all sorts of different graph papers and things like that if I would like. XY lines if I would like. You've got 30, 45 and 60 degrees as well, so if you want to do some isometric drawings and things like that, you can. So I'm going to clear my page because I'm the shortcut queen. In this instance I actually just want XY lined paper, so I'm going to hold my finger down on the screen, which is a right hand click, and I'm going to go straight to Grid Designer. This is what I have to come into anyway to edit the grids. So I just go straight there, I tip visible, I change the colour to suit, so I'm a bit of a fan of blue, she says, blue. I can have XY here. If those are too small or not small enough, I can use my plus and minus, or I can fiddle around with the scales there if I want to. If I want to take away some of those lines, I could. I always think I've got this around the wrong way. And I can of course make dotted paper, dashed paper, or anything like that if I wanted to. So your grid design is really good for changing things on your grid. I'll just leave it on that for argument's sake. Okay, another thing that I wanted to remind people of is the maths tools. So I could, up here, change my profile to show maths. I might do that right at the end because if I do that it's probably going to turn off my screen recorder. So when I'm just on authoring profile, I'm going to come in here into my toolbox, click maths tools, and I've got all of those wonderful things there. I've also got access to them if I'm standing on the side of the board from my menu tabs at the top there. Let's go straight for the protractor. This is one of my favourite ones. So with all of the tools, the protractor, the set square and the ruler, depending on where you touch them is where they have a different action set to them. So if I want to move this around, I'm going to grab it in the middle and move it around like this. I could use my pinch and zoom, however I prefer to just use the natural actions set into the tools because we kind of wrote Inspire before we had proper pinch and zoom, and I think it works better without mucking up my... On the edge, I can just drag out or in to zoom. If I grab my pen, let me select a colour. I'm going to come to the little menu icon there and check what's ticked. I would like filled arc ticked, and I can pretty much, on the edge of the board, just edge of the protractor, just start drawing around like that. I could change that to be a closed arc, so again, same thing, or I've got just the arc here. Okay, and it should stick like glue to that. Close. Let me pull out the ruler. In fact, I've just reset that page so that we can see that a little bit clearly. So by dragging on the ends, you can see that I can stretch that. one thing I really like is I can change the scale of these. So the bottom scale is in inches. Maybe I don't want it to be in inches, so I'm going to change that to millimetres, and I want the top scale to actually be in centimetres. Okay? And again, with my pen selected, I've probably chosen a really terrible colour actually with green showing up on the board. It's the same thing here, and I can rotate it as well, and it gives me the angle, so I don't actually have to get my protractor out to measure the 9-degree angle there. One of the other maths tools I wanted to draw your attention to, this was put into the software at a later date, so you might not have seen it. It's found somewhere a little bit different. In our main menu, under Insert, we have Equation. Main menu, Insert Equation, and then you tap on the screen. And we've got an equation editor here. So if you look in this little ribbon at the top here, you can see there's all different sorts of equations I can choose from. So if I wanted to pick these square root power type equations, and I'll just turn on my on-screen keyboard thingy here, let me see, I don't even know what I want to write in there. Let's type 16, then I'm going to tap in that little box and type 2, and I hope that that is a maths equation that makes sense, because I taught kindergarten. I hit OK and it comes onto the board there. If I am just writing some quite basic algebra or algebraic expressions, if that is indeed something, I could just turn on my handwriting recognition. I'm going to write on the board 4y plus 3x equals, there we go. As long as you put enough space in between those symbols, you'll get a little algebraic expression there. One more thing that I was just going to show, we had a discussion earlier about importing PowerPoints. So at present, you're unable to import PowerPoints, but there's a way around this. I'll just minimise Inspire here, and I'll show you that I've got a delightful mathematical PowerPoint. What I'm going to do is actually save that as a PDF. So I'm going to go File, Save as Adobe PDF. Is it okay if I just pop it on the desktop? Thank you. Save. That's better. Okay, because there it is as a PDF. I don't actually really need to see that. What I do need is my main menu again, File, Import, and you can see here, I know it says you can import PowerPoints, but you actually can't at the moment. So you're going to insert PDF. There's our PDF. I'm going to say Open. This lets me choose if I want to pop it into the flip chart that I'm currently working in. So if I was compiling a flip chart of notes for the class for the week, I might pop it at the end of that flip chart, or pop it at the beginning, or leave it as it is for a new flip chart. And it's now popped that into ActivInspire so that I can use my tools like my screen recorder or my sound recorder over top of that in a way that perhaps I couldn't use for